Namaste. Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome. My apologies for the delay today. Just getting ready for our tarot chat. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here. I had a lot of fun last Friday, and I don't know if everybody caught on to what I was doing. um, so let me go back and explain what the intention for today's video is, as well as for what was going on last week. So the title of this video is, I'm just going to read it. It is What's Your Approach to Reading Tarot? Tarot Reader Style. And last week, I did my best to demo different styles of readings, which were not entirely in my comfort zone because naturally I have my own style that I have. I'll talk more about this at the end today, but over years of reading, I have brought lots of different things together to make my readings uniquely me. And my attempt for this video, partly inspired by, it started with watching Carrie Mallon's video, but I know I've seen other videos with this topic over the years. And so I did my best to demonstrate for you a tarot reader who is very analytical, procedural, into the details and that sort of thing. And then we looked at a type of reading where we use a lot of tools and resources, and I called it the magician. And then the storyteller, who loves to weave stories and doesn't pay too much attention to the traditional meanings of the cards, and really likes to focus on the images and the illustrations. And I read to you a little bit one of the fairy tales from the Tarot of the Divine, the extra book by Yoshi Yoshitani. So that was fun. And then the healer, which is comfortable for me, but my own personal style has come to integrate lots of different approaches. So we'll get to that. So today I'm going to introduce four more. So today we're going to look at the motivator, the fortune teller, the earth mother, and the comforter. And then I'll talk a little bit about different things that I have integrated over the years. So I hope you have fun. Get a beverage, get comfy, and I will do this. I will demo it. So if you want to put some questions into the chat, I'm happy to use your questions to demo that. So let's say hi to everybody that's strolling on in. Amber is first in the comments, and Mira, hello to Mira. Vintage Moon, I believe that's Sissy. I don't have my list open, so I apologize. Joel, namaste, welcome to you. Elena, hello. Donna, welcome. Thank you. Lovely moderator, Donna. D. Marcella, hello. I'm really glad you're here for the live as well, too. Okay. Cordis, welcome to you. Well, happy birthday, Dee. Happy birthday to you. Many, many bright blessings. And maybe we can draw a card of inspiration just for you for your next turn around the sun. I'll start with that in just a moment. Who else is here? Who else is here? The regular gang. Yes. Okay, good. I got that right, Sissy. Excellent. And Samara Soul Scribe, hello. I believe you don't like me to say your name, right? So you like to keep your name private. And welcome. Irene is here. Hello. Who else is strolling on in? Okay, so Dee, this is for you. This is for your happy birthday. Happy birthday. I am going to draw. I'm going to draw an oracle card from the Tulsi. It's not the Tulsi. The Tulku. That would be a great name for a deck, the Tulsi Oracle. and then I'll draw a couple of cards as well too. So let us all light a candle for our dear Dee as we join together to celebrate her next turn around the sun. May she be showered with blessings. May she understand the lessons and the circumstances that she finds herself in throughout this journey. And may she know that she is loved, and that is all that really matters. Okay. All right. D. Lady. This is for you. This is for you. Oh, okay. Do I have the other camera up? I do. Yes, I do. So let me just go over here. So this is the Ganesha card from this deck. And the kind of energy that I'm feeling from Ganesh today is one of, I feel the weight of the step, the assurity, the strength and the foundation of Ganesh. I want to say go forward this year knowing that you have this, that you're moving from a place of great stability and great foundation. And of course, you have a lot of experience behind you, but there's something about this year that's going to feel really solid, really solid. And I don't say that in a predictive way. I want you to approach this year from that sense of solidity. Okay, now let's pull a couple of, let's go Margaret Peterson. I've been so enjoying this deck, the deck deep dive. So today is the 27th day of May. Good luck, Joel. Good luck. I told you I purchased. So this is a charm that I purchased from the creator of this deck. So she does metal work as well too, and I chose the Vesica Pisces symbol. Yeah. All right, D. Whoa, this is going to be a powerful year, Miss D. So we have the Emperor. And the Hierophant. The Emperor and the Hierophant. So the 4th and 5th arcanums. This is interesting because the energy of Ganesh is a very grounded and strong and foundational energy. So what I'm feeling here is this could also be a year of refreshing something, like the Emperor is such a great leader too. So you could begin a new organization. You could begin a new group, or you could take a new approach this year to something, and it would be highly successful through your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience. So this feels like a blessing of, yes, go ahead, initiate, know your strength, honor your strength, and it feels so solid and so powerful. So don't sit back. Shine bright, lead, hold the torch. I have a feeling that you are that way anyway, but maybe this is an opportunity for you to get out into the community, and maybe even beyond your own community, to inspire in a way that you've always been wanting to do. And the Hierophant card in this deck too is so magical and shamanic. There's a lot of fire energy in both the 4th and the 5th arcanums in this deck. So I would embrace that energy. There's something about the sure-footedness, the solidness. This is definitely an earthy energy with Ganesh, joined together with this fiery energy. I know traditionally the Hierophant is seen as an earth card, but I feel a tremendous transformational power the way that Margaret Peterson has portrayed the Hierophant. So it's beautiful. Blessings to you, Dee. Oh, thank you, Blair. That's amazing. I really appreciate you joining the channel. So that's wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to repeat. If anybody would like a reading today, let me know. Otherwise, I will. I'll just. I'll create a scenario. Okay. Essence. Hello, namaste. Welcome to you. And Saskia's here as well. Welcome. We haven't started. Okay. So I'm going to go to I'm going to talk a little bit about the first approach, and then I will do my best to demo this as well too. You're very welcome, Dee. Okay. All right. So this is not my comfort zone at all. So this particular style is one of, there's a little bit of rah here. And if, so let's just, I'm just going to go into this. Okay. So we're going to work with Elena. Elena, do you have a question? That would be great. And so we'll do Elena and then Hannah. Elena and then Hannah. So Elena, put a question into the chat. Okay. That will help to, and I can do Elena for the next one as well too. Oh, and Joel has posted a question too. Okay. All right. So Miss Donna, I'm going to do Joel. I'll do Joel and Elena and Hannah. And I see Hannah wants a general. And then Elena, I'll just wait and see if there's a question from her. Oh, yes, there is a question. Okay. So actually, no, I'm going to go with a woman for this one because I picked kind of feminine cards. So Joel, you'll be next. So I'm going to go ahead with Elena. Sorry for all this discombobulation. Elena, I would like some advice on staying deeply true to myself in connection with others. Well, you can do this. You are strong. You have the energy within to shine brightly. And so let's pull some cards today to help see where this fire might come from. All right. So I'm going to start with the personal power oracle. And so let's all hold space and get some, I don't know, what is it you use for your inspiration? Shine that Elena's way so that, let's put her question up on the screen. She would like some advice on staying deeply true to herself in connection with others. Okay. You have the power to do this without a doubt. So it is important that you know yourself. You really get to know yourself. And this might be, I would strongly suggest that we set some goals here, that we, that in a journal, that either in a journal or possibly I would suggest creating a vision board of sorts. And you can start with the intention or with the words of inspiration, I am happy. And then from the center of the board, you can make a mind map and just list or cut pictures out of magazines, or in your journal, you can draw, you can print pictures and so forth and cut them and put them into your journal. Just making a mind map or a collage of all the things that make you happy, because it is through happiness that you will learn to stay deeply connected to your truth. If you don't move from a place of happiness, how can you be true? So being true to yourself is giving yourself, of course, permission to be happy. Now, we cannot be artificially happy. And sometimes, of course, there would be a, this deck, by the way, is the Personal Power Oracle by Deja Osborne, in case you're wondering what the deck is. Her website is Deja Druid, I believe. So where was I with this? Creating a mind map, creating a journal, listing all the things that make you happy, because if you are going to move from your truth, you need to give yourself permission to do this. Now, fake it till you make it kind of thing. Sometimes that is necessary to shift the frequency, to shift the energy. But we want to move from that rather quickly. So how? So I'm going to go to the next set of cards. This is the Wild Woman Enchanted Oracle. This deck, unfortunately, is out of print. Created by Elizabeth. I used this deck the other day. I'm sorry, Liz. I forget. I don't know why I forgot your name. Because there's so many famous Elizabeth deck creators and Elizabeth artists out there. So this deck I'm going to use as a strategy for embracing the energy of happiness. And the creator of Wild Woman Enchanted does have a YouTube channel as well too, so you can listen to her. This is a really fun deck. It's full of light and inspiration. Okay, so this is not at all the kind of card that I was expecting. Okay. But this is very good advice. So the void, spaciousness. Sometimes when we are trying to shift our frequency, we get into the mood of being, we're concerned with others that are around us. This card showing up tells me that your happiness, perhaps most importantly, needs to be found when you are on your own. When you are on your own. So how can you create a sense of happiness being alone, doing your own thing? And in spaciousness, in silence, in those moments where your family is gone, where there's no friends around. So I'm going to give you an example. So I love, my dog Amber. All of you probably have seen Amber over the years. One of the things that I find really, really annoying. So I'm out in the forest walking Amber, and I come in contact with, and it's usually a group of women, 3 or 4 or 5 of them, and they're walking through the forest and they're nattering away a mile a minute, yakking away about God knows what. They're so noisy, completely oblivious to nature, completely oblivious to any signs or symbols or the beauty that is around them. They're so busy yakking away. And so what I'm sensing here for you is to create space for your happiness, to love yourself in your aloneness. Okay? You've got this. You've got this. You can do this. Create. And this does not have to be days, weeks, hours, long retreats to the ashram. This could be something that you dedicate an hour to a week, and you let your family know. Thank you for the super chats, Sissy and Elena. Let your family know that this is in honor of yourself, because it is time for you to honor yourself. And in honoring yourself, then you will better be able to connect with others. Okay, so now let's use this. So this is the Muse Tarot. The Muse Tarot is deeply, for me, it's a very fiery deck, and it can really be quite pointed to show how to grow this. So you would like some advice on staying deeply true to yourself, so true to your own happiness in connecting with others. Okay. All right, let's see where we're going to go with this. Oh, okay. So 5 of materials. So this is the 5 of Pentacles card. And I'm going to spin this. I really want to spin this, Elena. I want to say with this Fives. So the fives are very transitional cards, middle of the pathway, right? Middle of the pathway. And in the middle of the pathway on this journey, we are really honoring the journey. But I want you to get through this. I want you to get to the other side. And in order to get to the other side, one of the things you might need to do, for example, is to take stock, because we're kind of building a story here, right? I want you to take stock of the material things that empower you. Take stock of the material things that empower you. And that might very well mean going out and buying a new little black dress. Or it might be, I don't know, whatever it is for you that fits that. So step into the transition of this Five of Pentacles energy and know that you're moving through something to the light. This is one of the many portal cards in this deck. And so there's some sort of awareness of material things, and it could be leaving material things behind as well too. But this is quite because we're looking for strategies for you to find your happiness. So either this is you embracing particular material things to empower and build confidence, or it's about letting some of these things go and realizing you don't need to carry them with you, and that you can go forward to finding deeper connection with people. So another thing that just came through for me is that there might be a group of women, for example, where you are really tired of, maybe they go out for expensive dinners and you really can't afford to join them for these expensive dinners. So this is time for you to rise above and say, yeah, guys, this group really isn't doing it for me anymore. I'm actually going to go out and buy myself some nice organic vegetables at the market and go home and make a dinner for myself. Like imagine having the confidence to do that. Okay, another five. So you are in a place of transition. Think of the fives as bridges. You are on a path. You're on a path to a place where you can reach and connect with others. And in order to get there, embracing this journey of change is really important, and to recognize where you are in the middle of this journey. So five of voices. Listen to your voice. And what I just said about having the courageousness to let that group of women know that you don't want to be a part of that group anymore takes so much strength. And ultimately, creating this space for yourself is going to help you to find a little bit of happiness. Okay, so this is an important part of getting to know yourself. So it feels as if getting to know yourself, understanding what your happiness is, being okay with spending time alone is the most important part of the journey. And it's going to feel a little bit sticky right now, but you can get there. You can do this. And so think about this quite methodically, the journal exercise, the vision board exercise, okay? And then come back and check in with me in a few weeks' time and let me know how you're doing, okay? Thank you. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Donna. All right. So I am going to look at their two questions and just see which, and also thank you for the super chat, Joel. So Sissy also, will I be moving to a bigger house? And what was Joel's question? Just going to scroll on back. Okay, so it's about the job. So this is perfect. This is perfect for the fortune teller exercise. Okay, let's switch gears here. Okay. So, in order to work in the modality of the fortune teller, so Joel, this one is for you. Everybody can start sending Joel some good juju, right? Start sending him some energy. One needs to be confident in their reading ability. And I want to say that taking time to develop your clairs and to build trust in your clairs is really important. With that trust of your intuition, or perhaps your clairaudient, you're actually hearing messages, or you are, for me, it's empathic energies. So I can feel things in my body. There's sometimes sensations on the skin and so forth. So if you're going to work in the modality of fortune teller, working on your clairaudience, and my crown chakra now is just going all fizzy and fuzzy, is really important. And I believe that there can be a little bit of divination in all kinds. And divination to me means connecting with the divine, but specifically in fortune telling and looking ahead to the future and being confident enough to say, yes, this is in the cards, takes a certain level of confidence. Okay. Ooh, good question, Blair. Very good question. Okay, so let me answer this before I get on to Joel's reading. When I sit down to do readings, one of the things I do is prepare myself. So I get fresh air. So before the readings, I was out walking the dog. I make sure that my physical, mental, and emotional health is clear. So the preparation is really important. I try not to rush, and that's why I changed the readings today, 15 minutes, because if I rush to go live, then I feel scattered and I cannot collect myself. So the preparation and the setup is really important. If I were doing a psychic fair, I am one of the first people that's there. I arrive early in the morning while the people are setting up the venue and all of that. So the preparation is hugely important for me. And the more preparation that I do, the better the readings that come through. Okay. So listening to those 5 clairs. It also has to do with the studying that I've done. So I have done a lot of work with different yogis. I have done work with, what do you call them? I've done mediumship training. I've done work with different shamans and so forth. And so over the years, I've learned to listen and learn and watch from various mentors. And I want to say that it was Bowen Island. Bowen Island, I can't remember what year it was. I met a wonderful group of mediums, and there was about 25 mediums that gathered together for a 4-day weekend. I think the leader was famous English medium, Tony. Gosh, I'm sorry, Tony, I can't remember your name. He's quite famous. It was great because I was quite new to mediumship at that time, and I didn't understand how they were working, and they really helped. So I think trusting also is training. It's really important. You have to exercise the muscles in order to recognize them. Okay, so there's the setup, there's the training, and then stepping out of the way. So part of my prep is some of the things that are going through my head are, I'm a vessel, I'm a vessel, I'm a vessel. And I talk to ascended masters. So when I am closing my eyes and breathing, I have my Reiki ascended masters in mind. I have the lineage that I'm initiated in, the Ascended Masters with that lineage. I have other Ascended Masters that I have read their works or read about them, or they've come through in meditations. And so there's a kind of like this collective uh, um, it's like a chorus of ascended masters that is I visualize sitting up there supporting me to this. And so that's who I personally tap into. So I think you need to have support. And my team is huge. My team is huge. And I feel them and I recognize them in different ways. Um, so your question was, how do I discern where they come from? With everything that I've just said, I move into a place of trust, and I trust that they're coming from a higher frequency, and that they're simply moving through me, and that spirit is moving through me. Because sometimes something will come out of my mouth and I'll go, whoa, I've never said that before. I've never used that word before. Or sometimes I can catch myself, and I usually correct myself, but there'll be another accent that's coming through. And it's funny, and I smile and go, oh, okay. So trust is huge. Stepping out of your way, preparation, all of those things. Yeah. And then having had some profound clairvoyant experiences, fully in three dimensionally seeing angels, walking through portals, different things like that. Like I've been in and out of time warps and things, and I, without actually having experienced those things, I wouldn't have the level of trust that I do right now. So yeah, so that's long-winded answer. Yeah, it does. It takes a long time, takes a lot of experience. All right. So let us tap into the art of Pamela Coleman Smith. I am surrounded by crystals. I'm surrounded by crystals that are strategically placed in different places. You can't see this space around me, supporting me, raising the frequency, raising the vibration. And when I tap into that, it also raises my frequency as well too, and gives me the confidence to move into more of a predictive style. And I'm not the kind of fortune teller that is going to put on not going to put a scarf on my head. I don't have the fancy long fingernails. I don't smoke cigarettes, that sort of thing. But I do, it can get quite woo-woo the more I get into that sort of mood. And also working with Lenormand can get very, very predictive as well too. Okay. Now, why the RWS? The RWS, because also, Joel, we can connect to, so this reading is for Joel, let me hide Blair's comment, is we can tap into the lineage of a great master, the union of a great master and a great woman who are also supporting us in the ether. And so when I use the Pamela Coleman Smith artwork, I trust that she is with us. She is guiding you. She is supporting you. All right. So at this time when she was creating this deck, I can imagine where she was in space, and also being aware of the process of the history of Arthur Waite also really helps me to build confidence in this, and also know that the The Golden Dawn. So the Golden Dawn masters, depending on which level they were, of course, uh, did a lot of work in prediction and divination, and I want to say the dark arts. So this is for you. So Joel is asking about this job. Will he get this job? What is the outcome of this job? Okay. All right. So Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is quite literally looking into her crystal ball, and she is asking you, Joel, what it is that you are wanting to build through this job. And why is it you are so attracted? Because you have been back and forth with this metaphysical job for some time. And I can see through the ether that you're going to be in and out of metaphysical shops for your whole life. So there is an attraction, there is a pull to divination, there is a pull to the unseen, and trusting the unseen. And perhaps it is through actually working in a metaphysical shop that you will build your confidence with intuition. It is also in a metaphysical shop that you will meet other metaphysicists, whether they are readers, they are visiting, they are tourists or travelers who are witches or warlocks or other, they work in the metaphysical. I see this as you perhaps not working in retail, but actually working as a reader in the store. And if you don't have the opportunity to work as a reader in the store, this is about you trusting your inner wisdom and guiding the powers that be at the store to create space in the store for this to happen. And often this doesn't have to happen in a reading room. This is something that can happen in several places in the metaphysical shop itself. There is a wanting, there is a calling for truth and honesty and clarity with this. And I can see you getting quite creative in the way, and passionately as well too, because this Ace of Swords is an opportunity for you to lead and to quite literally carve a path at the store, perhaps having, um, for example, each of the corners of the store could represent a direction, and there could be lessons and magical things that happen in each of the corners of the store. There could be special events also that you are in charge of. So I want you to pick up the sword. And if you haven't already had an interview, have the confidence to take charge. It is up to you to create the environment for the truth and the level of predictions and the readings and the entire direction of what might happen. I can see you changing how this goes at the store itself. And I know that you are quite young. I forget how old you are. I think you're the same age as my son. Perhaps you can let me know if you want to share that mix. It's neither here nor there, but sometimes when we are younger, and actually that's not true. It happens to people who are my age, there's a lot of self-doubt that can arise when we're stepping into the unfamiliar. But this reading, these three cards are here to help you feel strong and powerful. Think of Judgment as an awakening for yourself. The Judgment card is a card of awakening. It is time for you to awaken, and through receiving this job, receiving the gift of this job, you will have this major awakening. If that word doesn't work for you, how about transformation? Transformation. And I feel like there's an as without, so within thing. So I can see you walking into the store quite flamboyantly, actually. I can see you actually with some sort of a not like a wizard's cape, but more of a flamboyant, like a I was going to say it's not Oscar Wilde, because I can see Oscar Wilde in like smoking jacket, but something like it's still velvet. It's a velvet floral or a very colorful paisley cape. And it's like you're also an entertainer. So this is a big yes. This is a big yes for your transformation, for awakening something within you. So I would say, go for it and trust it and allow yourself to be guided in guiding the owner or the manager of the store as well too. Okay? So be strong with this. You've got this. Exactly, like a robe of some sort. Mhm. You play the part. You play the part in the store. And even if you're working retail, you have this opportunity to do that as well too. So you can flare up and customers will come in because the person who's working retail is also a metaphysicist. So isn't that beautiful? Okay. Oh, 21. 21. Okay. Yeah, my children are older. Yeah. Okay. What a great year. It's a great number. Sorry, I didn't remember that. Okay. Now, where are we going to go from there? We're going to go to Hannah. It is a general reading. But Cordis and Vintage Moon had fortune telling questions. Okay. So we'll do this. And I know that we had a super chat from Sissy Vintage Moon. Okay, so let me see if this is going to work with the questions. I'm going to go back to Hannah wanted a general and Sissy. Will I be moving to a bigger house this year? Okay. Hi, Aisha. Welcome. Let's go with Sissy's question for the next one. Okay. Now, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. Love this. All right, let's get some sage burning here. Let's clean the aura. All right. All right. Oh, this smells so good. Clean the aura. Clean the space. Sissy. All right, Sissy. So as we prepare for the next Sabbath, as you prepare for the next Sabbath, one of the things that I have learned in my years is that intentions about moving to a big house, intentions like this, are more powerfully served in ritual with full moon ceremonies, new moon ceremonies, things like that. And when I'm seeing this, there's a few things that I see in your question. So bigger house, so more space. Also, I'm looking at the color of the what do you call it? The super chat. So the super chat, there's something really magical here because the next full moon, I don't know if if you're aware of this. Now, the full moons go by many, many names. But one of the names for the next full moon is the honeymoon. Not as in post wedding, but as in bees. So there is a sweetness to this. And also, dear Sissy, I'm thinking about the creation of a hive, the creation of community, and the power of all of that as well too. So what I am suggesting for you, Sissy, is to have your eye ahead at the next full moon, which I believe is on June the 14th. It is a week ahead of the solstice. And I'm just going to go to my calendar and double check that. I believe. Okay, so let's go to, yes, so the honey full moon will be on the 14th, and then a week later, it's the solstice. So, what I suggest is that you start to prepare for the next full moon, and that your intention for the moving to a bigger space starts to build and grow as the moon is presently waxing. So every day there's some energy that is put into the waxing moon. Let the energy grow. Let the house grow. This, you could also watch a plant that is growing. There's something that I would like you to do tangibly to watch growth, so that you see something growing, you see something getting bigger. Okay? Because when we move with the flow of the earth, and when we move with the natural cycles of the earth, when we wax when the earth is waxing, and we wane when the earth is waning, it just makes things so much better. So I would not, after the full moon, so after the honeymoon, I would suggest that you just put these intentions to the side, and you focus on something else. And then with the next new moon, then you go ahead and you start to build this energy again. Okay? All right. So is there any wisdom for Sissy that we can help to develop this intention for her? Also, the candle that I lit, and we're going to do a little bit of a ritual at the end, I will share with you, just something to do at the full moon, is a beeswax candle. And I choose to work with beeswax candles. There's something about my own medicine and connection with the bees that is hugely important. So I'm very, it brings in a different energy for me. Okay. So you might either like to become aware of local honey producers, connect with the bees as well too, because there's also uh, that connection that might help build the energy, energetically supporting your intention to move to a bigger space. Okay. So rather than looking at this as a predictive reading, this is a reading, this is a process of you. I'm just going to put my hand here, energize these cards. This is a process of you intentionally growing and developing the energy of this larger space. Okay, so I'm going to do a 3-card reading, and then we'll do a little ritual for the next full moon. Okay. So the little bird, the page of arrows. I feel as if you may be guided. You may be guided by birds. If there was an animal, a species that I were to pay attention to now, it would be the little birds. We all receive signs and messages, symbols from different animals, different creatures. And some of us connect more to the four-legged, some of us connect more to the creepy crawlies. And I think for you, over the next week, pay attention to the messages from the birds. Follow the birds. The birds may guide you to a neighborhood you've never been before. So there's something about the little birds, the messages in the wind. Let's see where we're going with this. Ooh, okay. So you are being called. You are being called. Listen to the beat of the drum as this stag is holding the drum. If you have a drum, beat the drum and make the drum part of this intention. I can just hear my drum. I have an elk hide drum that I made with my own two hands, and there's something about that connection and that level of connection with the earth. So I want you to put your intention into Mother Nature, into the earth herself, and let her guide you. Grow with her as the season of spring is growing towards summer. You grow as well too. You grow in your confidence. You grow with the energy of, you let your energy grow as the earth is growing and expanding. Listen to the sounds of nature. Let yourself be called. Pay attention to that which is calling you. There's also a karmic pattern that is arising here. And oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so we have two major arcanas that are showing here. And the card of balance, the temperance card, is one of perfect union. It's one of harmony. It's one of you finding. What I would like you to be mindful of is that bigger may not be better. Bigger may not be better. Perhaps this transition is to, perhaps the growth of this change, the energy that is put into this transition is about creating an environment that is more connected to my health, to my wellness, to my balance, making me stronger, making me feel generally more healthy, rather than focusing on bigger is better. More space is better. It's about its environment. So, like I said, pay attention to, and I would also, so get out on your feet and look around, like go to particular neighborhoods and be there in the morning, be there in the afternoon. Feel the energy of these spaces at different times of day. Where could you move where you could observe the setting sun or have a morning cup of coffee on a deck? So pay attention to the earthly position of these places that you are searching for, and make your intention for one of wellness and wholeness and connection. Okay. So what I want to share with you is on the honeymoon. So on the 14th of June, this is, and the Goddess and the Green Man is one of my, there's a few different websites that I use for ritual and for connection with the Sabbats. And this particular one is for the honeymoon, and I want to share this with you, okay? So all you need is a bowl and a jug that's filled with water. And the recommendation is to use a white candle. But because this is a honeymoon, I have lit a honey candle, right? A candle that is created by the bees. So entirely up to you whether you use a honey candle or you use a white candle. All right. So you're going to pour the water. You're going to fill the jug with water, and then you're going to pour the water into the bowl. This is done outside, and this is going to be on the night of around the time of the full moon. So you'll need to pay attention to the calendar where you are to check out when the moon is fullest. Okay. And then you're going to take your lit candle, or you can place the candle in the water and let it float in the water. And then you are going to say the following. You might like to have a wand. You may have a beach stick, holding something in your hand as you repeat this ritual. And it could be again a sage wand. It could be your favorite wood wand. I'm going to light another piece of sage for you. And we're way ahead of the full moon, but I'm just going to share this with you now. Okay. So this is what you're going to say. Renewing the water, shining bright, weave your charm in my bowl of light. Renewing water, shining bright, weave your charm in my bowl of light. And then you are going to place your bowl out into the full moon. And I would sit with your bowl and visualize your space, visualize the healing energy of your new home, and then leave your bowl out in the full moon. Okay? And then in the morning, when this is complete, you're going to take your bowl and dip your hands into the water. And as you gently splash the water over you, you say, by full moon charm, by full moon light, may inner beauty shine through tonight. Brightest blessings of the goddess shine through me. So you can either do this. When I do full moon rituals, usually I set things out in the full moon and then I take their blessing after. The way that this one is written that I shared with you, it would be, you would set an intention, you would sit with your bowl, and then before you went into bed that night, you would take that blessing. So you could, depending on how long you can stay awake at night or how long the full moon is out, you could be with the water and then go about your whatever you're doing in the home, and then go back and take the blessing of the water, because the water, of course, is being touched by the energy of the full moon. Okay, so that is your offering for today. Thank you so much. Thanks, Sissy. All right. How are we doing, everybody? How are we doing? Okay, I'm going to go back to the Facebook chat. Hannah, Dancing Soul Sister for General, Cordis Moving, and Diana Law General on Camino de Santiago Pilgrimage. Okay. I am going to do, what time is it? It's 58. So I'm going to do one more demo. And so I'm sorry, I'm just going to choose one of you. That will be the last reading for today. And looks like I didn't create a banner. So let me create a banner right now. And then I'll take a few minutes to talk about my own personal style. Okay. All right, let me get some of this sage off the table here. Now, this is a really beautiful resource because sometimes the truth is that people just need a big hug. Sometimes queerants just, that's all they need. They need a hug. They don't need anybody to motivate them. They don't need anything else other than a hug. And I truly believe that there is a time, there is a place. There is a place for this kind of a reading. And I think when there's a lot of ego involved in readers, it can be very difficult to offer this kind of reading. This kind of reading is easier if you work with people or animals all the time, if this is in your nature. So this might not be something that that sits well with everybody. And sometimes sometimes people just, and you might think to yourself, so here's another thought. Well, they're paying me, I don't know, what do you charge? $120 for an hour reading. I'm just going to give them a hug. Is that enough? And the truth is that, yeah, sometimes a hug is enough. Sometimes a hug is enough. And that can be really, it can be really empowering. So that's what I'm going to offer to Hannah. So Hannah is Dancing Soul Sister today. And so this is for Hannah. And so let us all just imagine being in circle, and just supporting Hannah through whatever is challenging her at this time, so that she can feel better. She can feel supported. You know, sometimes we don't need to worry about what I need to fix or what's not good enough or what am I not seeing. Right now, we just want Hannah to feel love, to feel beauty, to feel seen, to feel heard. And so this is for you, Hannah, Dancing Soul Sister. And if you were here, I would love to offer you a cup of hot chocolate and one of my favorite wraps. I would put one of my favorite wraps around your shoulders so you feel safe and you feel cozy, you feel comfortable. And if it's warm where you are, then kick off your shoes and just get really, really comfortable. All right, so the first card that I'm going to draw is from the Spirit Junkie, Gabriel Bernstein, one of Gabriel Bernstein's decks. This is one of the only oracle decks that I have with words on it. But I thought it was so, I don't know, I thought it was so cute when I saw it when it came into the store. Okay. I am a light worker in disguise. I don't have to talk about it. I can just be it. That's really beautiful. Have you ever done that, Hannah? I can see you sitting on a park bench, and you sit there on the park bench, and maybe you kick off your shoes and you go into a cross-legged position on the park bench, and you close your eyes and just kind of listen to everything around you. And then I can see you with doing a gesture, kind of like this, and you just sit there silently offering love and light to everyone around you. This feels really beautiful. So I want to just honor you and your ability to shine light and to shine energy to those around you, and to know that your influence is so much greater than you can imagine. So if there are challenging circumstances at work, if there are, I don't know, it could be in your neighborhood, and you could sit in your backyard and send light and love to the backyard neighbors. The possibilities are endless. It's a beautiful, beautiful practice. So you are, dear sweet sister, you are a light worker. You have this magical quality that I just want you to own it. Just own it. Okay. So let's expand on this invitation from Spirit for Hannah to embrace her gifts as a light worker, to raise the frequency of the collective, small groups of people, wherever she is. Have you seen, so there is a tarot deck and it's so beautiful. It might be the Fool card in the Way Home Tarot. And the Fool is walking along, and then behind the Fool, there's little flowers that start to come up, So it's like everything she touches is magic. Everything she touches. 7 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles. Water, earth. Water, earth. Water the earth. Okay. There is a lot of emotion in the 7 of Pentacles. There's a lot of magic in the 7 of Pentacles. There's a potential for tremendous transformation in the 7 of Pentacles. I want to encourage you also to connect emotionally with the number 7. Is that a weird thing to say? Connect emotionally with the number 7 to allow, no, not to, by allowing your own emotions to flow freely. By allowing your own emotions to flow freely, you can also mentor and model for those that are around you. The 7 of Pentacles, yes, it can be a card of delusion and things like that, but it can also be a card of dreams. It can be a card of inspiration. Sometimes we need to walk into that magical mushroom world, or we need to walk into the space of our dreams. We need to go through the looking glass to see the possibilities, the greatness of the possibilities, because we are so limited by this particular dimension. And that might happen on a shamanic journey. It might happen in a meditation experience. It might happen with hallucinogenics. I mean, there's lots of different ways that people have these experiences. But I want you to encourage you to allow yourself to learn more about your gifts as a light worker through your own meditations. Because it's only through stepping into liminal space that you will know how far you can go and how far your power can go as a light worker. Right? And we have the sign of infinity showing up in the card on the right. There's a flow of energy here. This is not a static card. This is not a static card. This is not a static card. So working with energy, working with light magic, working with light weaving, allowing earthly energy to move and to flow. So what is this? What does this have to say for you? I feel I can go into the feathers. Like I feel like there's something very feathery about this card. The air. Um, earth magic. So Hannah, I don't know if you practice any earth magic, but there is a sense of, and I know I've talked about this before on my channel, but you and it's only because one of my daughters does this. So she sets up altars in the forest, and I've done this as well too. When we set up an altar in the forest and we go on that forest walk, we go through that path frequently and we continue to feed the altar. What will happen is that others will find their way to that altar as well too. And rather than, so what I'm saying here is you put the energy into the initial setup of the altar in the forest or your favorite trail or wherever it is, and you continue to feed it. Maybe you bring a little crystal one day, or you rearrange the flowers, or you put, I don't know, a candle there, depending on what your fire regulations are, of course, right? So you continue to feed it. Maybe there is a container of water so people can water a plant, or there's natural moss there. So there's little things that you can put in the moss, or maybe you make it into a fairy garden. It's like you offer your gift as a light worker in the background. So nobody knows. Nobody knows who created this altar, and people are in awe of it and they start adding things to it. So this is just one suggestion. But I really like that vision I had initially of you sitting on the park bench and, beaming energy out to all that are around you. And this particular card here also reminds me of the power of that. It's like you as a light worker are naturally offering balance. You're offering balance. So the message I want you to leave here with today is that you have the power. You have the power to weave healing light energy to all those around you. And all you need to do is be there. Your presence is enough, right? Your presence is enough. And just know that. Just being around you is a gift to people. Thank you. Thanks, Hannah. Lovely. I love all that you're sharing in the chat. Thank you. All right, beautiful souls. So this has been a really good exercise for me as well too, because over the years I have had certain rituals and certain practices, things I do in readings, and these rituals, they come and they go, and I have morphed as a reader a lot over the last 25 years. I've really, the kind of reading that I did years ago is quite different than the style of reading that I do now. And so one of the things that is um, one of the things that is most important to me is that my reading matches and supports the energy of the seeker or the querent or the client, whatever you want to call them. If somebody is very raw and very, very emotional, I'm not going to go in all rah and give them lots of homework to do. If somebody has no spiritual experience and vocabulary, and they're really just looking for a fortune teller, then I'm gonna kind of do a fortune teller kind of reading. So it's important to listen to the clientele. And what will happen is that the kind of clientele, the kind of people you want to read for will show up. So if you don't want to do fortune teller style readings, those kind of people aren't going to show up for the most part. But to have a few tricks in your basket is really, really helpful. So one of the things I do as a reader is I try to help people transition from where they have been to where they are now. So yes, walking into my space, the smells are going to be different, and I'm very aware of, not everybody likes sage and incense and all of that. So this is something, if they're coming into my home, I only burn this stuff if I know it doesn't bother them. Um, So that's important as well too. But one of the things I love to do is guide people through a relaxing meditation to help them ground and arrive for the reading. Now, saying that, some people are very uncomfortable with that. And when I work at the store, this is where I get a lot of people. People who come to my home, they know how I work. They tend to be, they're all cool with the stuff that I do. But at the store, sometimes people are not into that at all. People can't sit. It's crazy. Like some people can't sit through a 2-minute guided meditation to help them relax. It's like they're looking at me through one eye and they're going, "Oh, when is this going to be over? What the fuck is she doing this for?" That kind of thing. And I can tell, I can read them. So I quickly end this. Or sometimes I shift, I have to shift gears multiple times to figure out how I'm going to approach this person. So I think being flexible is really, really important. It's really important. Yeah. Um, and yeah, if you want to have a reading with me, well, book one, and you can experience it in person. Yeah. So you have had little tastes of it over all the Tuesday live readings, but it's a little different when we're in person. Maybe one day you can come to Canada, you can come to the West Coast and have a in-person reading with me, or eventually I will have my caravan and I'll be out around in North America, and I can let people know what towns I'm in. That would be so much fun. I would love to just travel around, do readings all over North America, maybe even go into Mexico and do that. That'd just be a blast. So thank you. Thank you for your support over the last couple of weeks. I hope you've enjoyed this and you can take some of these suggestions into your own practices. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your weekend. I saw a couple people just arrived at the end. I saw Danielle. The chat has jumped. So yeah, Danielle is here. Yeah. And Danielle, you could come over here for a reading. I'm in the West Coast, right? Mhm. All right. Have a blessed weekend. Namaste, everybody. Bye for now.